This is the entire story of the first ever Elder Scrolls game, the Elder Scrolls Arena. This game was truly a special for its time, and while I wasn't alive back then to appreciate the beauty of it, I recently bought the game to see what it's truly about, and today I'm gonna share the entire story with you. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. You don't remember your crime. No one does. You wake up in chains, buried beneath the Imperial City, far below the White Gold Tower. No sunlight, no wind, just stone and silence. Then something changes. A dream, or maybe a vision. A woman appears, pale and glowing, like she's made of starlight. She says her name is Rhea Silmaine. Her voice is calm, but something in her eyes looks trapped. She tells you the Emperor is gone. Not dead, not missing, but trapped somewhere beyond the mortal plane. The man who sits on the ruby throne is not Uriel Septim. His name is Jagar Tharn, the Imperial Battle Mage, and he's using illusion and sorcery to fool the Empire. Rhea served under him once. She tried to stop him. He killed her, but somehow she lives on, at least enough to reach you. She tells you she can't stay. The power keeping her soul together is fading, but she's left you a way out. Not a sword, not armor, just a small opening in the wall and a chance to run. Then she's gone, and you're alone again. That's how your story begins. No prophecy, no destiny, no ancient bloodline. Just cold stone and the sound of rats scratching in the dark. You push through the gap and crawl into the sewer beyond. The walls leak, the water is foul. Somewhere nearby, something snarls. It's not just rats down here. You stumble onto your first weapon, a rusted iron blade with a cracked hilt. You take it. The air grows thicker. Something's waiting up ahead. You fight your way through the Imperial sewers, slashing and stumbling, bleeding and lost. Skeletons shamble out of the dark. Goblins hiss and charge with clubs. The dead don't stay buried in this place. Somewhere above, the surface waits, but so do the guards and Tharn's magic. You're not free yet. The dungeon twists and folds on itself. Water rises. Walls shift. Rhea's voice echoes in your mind, a faint reminder that you're not entirely alone. She tells you again that Tharn used a powerful artifact called the Staff of Chaos. That's what let him trap the Emperor in another dimension, what lets him keep up the illusion of power. But the staff has been broken into pieces and scattered across Tamriel. If you can find them, you can restore it. Maybe then you'll have a way to stop him. But right now, the goal is simple: escape. After hours or days, you reach a final door. Light spills through the cracks. You kick it open and collapse into the night. You don't know where you are. Somewhere in the wilderness, far from the tower. The sky is black and full of stars. The world hasn't changed, but you have. You're free now, but that doesn't mean safe. Cities still bow to Tharn. The people still believe the lie. No one remembers Rhea Silmaine. No one's heard from Uriel Septim. You have no proof, no allies, no coin, but you're alive. That's something. From here, the path is wide open. You can go anywhere. Skyrim, elsewhere, High Rock. But Rhea left you a message in your dreams. A name, Fenglair. That's where the first piece of the staff is hidden. Deep in the ruins, beneath the Dragontail Mountains, guarded by the dead. You'll need a map, you'll need directions, and you'll need power. Tharn's influence stretches across every province. His agents are watching the roads. His monsters hide in the woods. The staff is your only chance. Without it, Tharn can't be challenged. He rules in silence while the true emperor fades in some void, forgotten. You begin moving. You follow rumors, strange signs, whispers in taverns. In every city, Tharn's illusion holds. Guards still swear fealty to the false ruler. Priests pray to the wrong name. You hear the news that Rhea was branded a traitor before her death. Tharn wiped her from the records. You might be next. You try to stay quiet. You keep moving. The provinces are restless. Storms strike from clear skies. Wolves walk upright in the snow. Villages vanish overnight. Something unnatural is spreading. You wonder if it's tied to the staff, or if it's something worse. Still, Rhea speaks to you when she can. Her voice breaks through your dreams, thin and distant. She urges you forward. The staff fragments are hidden in places touched by power, ruins, crypts, deep places where time folds in on itself. You can feel something pulling you west, toward the Iliac Bay. Every step takes you deeper into the chaos Tharn left behind. You're not the only one looking for the staff. There are others, servants of Tharn, bound by spell or gold. Some are mages, others are worse. You hear of a man in Daggerfall whose shadow speaks before he does. You avoid him, you can't fight them yet, not alone. Slowly you start gathering supplies, a better sword, a map copied by a drunk cartographer, a journal filled with half-mad scribbles that mention Fanglair and a creature that never sleeps. That's the place, that's your goal, not to save the Empire. Not yet. First, you have to survive. Rhea said, the staff is the only thing that can bring Tharn down, and even broken, it still pulses with energy. You wonder what it felt like whole, what Tarn must have done to break it apart, how deep he had to bury the pieces to keep them hidden. You keep walking, the stars shift above you, the wolves follow from a distance. You don't know what waits in Fanglair, only that it's old and angry and not alone. But you've come this far, and if you turn back now, the world will stay broken. So, you move forward. You're just a prisoner, just another soul swept up in someone else's war. But the road is open, the game has started, and Tharn doesn't know you're coming. Not yet. Once free from the dungeon, you are visited again by the ghostly figure of Rhea Silmain. She reveals a truth that few dare to speak aloud. The man wearing the Emperor's crown is not the real ruler. Jagar Tharn, the Imperial Battle Mage, has trapped Emperor Uriel Septim VII beyond the reach of the mortal world. The only way to save the Emperor is through the Staff of Chaos, an ancient relic shattered into pieces and hidden in ruins across the Empire. Without the staff, no one can pierce the veil between realms to free the Emperor from his prison. The first piece lies deep inside Fanglair, a Dwemer ruin beneath the Dragontail Mountains. The task ahead seems impossible, yet failure means the Empire will fall into darkness. Your journey becomes a desperate quest to recover the staff's fragments and restore the true Emperor. Along the way, danger is ever present. Bounty hunters loyal to Tharn hunt relentlessly, seeking to silence anyone who knows the truth. The roads grow perilous as creatures warped by Daedric magic emerge from shadows to attack without warning. Cities once peaceful now harbor corruption and fear. Officials and guards serve dark masters rather than the law. Bandits prey on travelers and merchants with increasing boldness. Mages, once sworn to protect the realm, turn rogue, caught in webs of shadow. Each province holds its own dangers and secrets. The ruins containing pieces of the staff are scattered widely. Fanglair is among the first, an ancient Dwemer stronghold filled with traps and forgotten machines still humming with energy. To navigate its twisting halls, you must avoid deadly snares and fight monsters twisted by forbidden magic. Wits and skill become your weapons in survival and success. As your quest unfolds, you learn more of the darkness spreading through the Empire. Cities like Kuwatch, Skingrad, and Shadenhall show signs of decay. Citizens whisper of disappearances and strange happenings. Townsfolk live in fear, and the rule of law feels fragile. Your path takes you through these troubled lands, forcing choices between helping those in need or pressing onward with your mission. Rumors and half-truths fill the air, creating confusion about who can be trusted. Yet, despite the shadows, small pockets of resistance hold firm. Rebels, priests, and secret allies offer shelter, supplies, or information. These connections prove vital as the grip of Jagar Tharn's power tightens. The Staff of Chaos once symbolized imperial strength and divine authority. Now broken and scattered, it mirrors the fractured empire itself. Recovering each piece feels like healing a wound, but the task grows harder as enemies become more desperate. You encounter cultists, dark wizards, and twisted creatures guarding the remaining fragments. Alongside your main quest, side adventures reveal more of the Empire's troubles. Some involve stopping bandit raids or uncovering corrupt officials. Others explore forgotten lore or recover lost artifacts. These moments add depth and show the crisis's wide impact. The weight of your quest is clear. Without the staff and the true Emperor, the Empire risks collapse. You are no chosen hero by birth or prophecy, but become vital through determination and courage. Rhea's spectral guidance remains a steady presence, offering hints and warnings but never intervening directly. The story builds toward the final goal, to reassemble the Staff of Chaos, confront Jagar Tharn, and free Emperor Uriel Septim VII. The path is dangerous, but hope of restoring order drives you forward. In this dark time, you are the spark that might reignite the Empire's light. The next piece of the Staff of Chaos lies buried in the depths of the Tower of the Clockwork God, an ancient and forgotten structure built by the Dwemer beneath the city of Daggerfall. The tower is a twisting maze of gears, steam, and metal, alive with the echoes of a civilization that vanished without a trace. To reach the fragment, you must navigate traps, designed to protect secrets long hidden. The halls are filled with automatons, mechanical guardians that show no mercy to intruders. Their movements are precise, relentless, and deadly. The deeper you venture, the more you realize this place is a monument not only to Dwemer ingenuity, but to the limits of mortal ambition. As you push through, you come across puzzles woven into the very fabric of the tower, testing your wit as much as your will to survive. Each step forward is a battle of mind and body against the machines left behind. Outside, the political situation in the Empire grows worse. The provinces are fracturing. Lords and governors vie for power, some secretly allying with forces that worship shadows and chaos. The true Emperor remains missing, his name all but erased from official records. You hear whispers in taverns and streets of a usurper with dark magic controlling the throne. Your quest is a race against time, as the power of Jagar Tharn spreads corruption like a stain across the land. The people suffer, caught in a world where lawlessness and fear have replaced order. Bandits roam freely, attacking travelers without mercy. Town guards are too few or too corrupt to stop them. Mages once respected are now feared, their magic twisted by hidden pacts and forbidden knowledge. Within this chaos, you find allies, outcasts, rebels, and those who have lost everything to the darkness. They offer help, sharing secrets of forgotten paths and warnings of dangers ahead. But trust is scarce. Every stranger could be a spy for Tarn's forces, waiting for the chance to end your mission. The tower's depths reveal more than just traps and machines. You find traces of Daedric influence, magic that warps reality itself. Portals flicker in and out of existence, showing visions of other worlds or times. Shadows seem to crawl along the walls, and distant whispers echo through the halls. The line between reality and nightmare blurs as you press on. Your journey takes its toll. Fatigue, hunger, and injury wear on your body, but your resolve remains firm. You cannot afford to rest, not when the fate of the Empire hangs in the balance. Each fragment of the staff you recover brings you closer to confronting the man who stole the throne. As you grasp the piece from the heart of the tower, you feel a surge of power and hope. The staff is not just a weapon, it is a symbol of unity and the rightful order. Yet, you know the hardest trials are still ahead. Returning from the tower, you find the world outside changed. Cities like Wayrest and Sentinel show signs of decay. The people grow restless, their spirits broken by fear and loss. The grip of Tharn tightens with every passing day, his dark magic seeping into every corner of the Empire. Your task grows heavier. The fragments must be reunited, but each step forward reveals how deeply the corruption runs. The path ahead winds through treacherous lands and forgotten ruins, places where few dare to tread. You press on, driven by the faint hope that one day the true Emperor will be freed and the Empire restored. Your story is no tale of prophecy or destiny. It is a story of survival, courage, and the struggle to reclaim what has been lost. The weight of the staff and the fate of a world rest in your hands. Your quest takes you across all of Tamriel's provinces, each suffering under the corrupting influence of Jagar Tharn's dark sorcery. In High Rock, the land of Bretons, noble houses and knights vie for power, even as magical chaos spills through the courts. Towns like Daggerfall face upheaval. Arcane disturbances warp reality, and you confront bandits and sorcerers twisted by Tharn's spells. The region's ancient dungeons, like Wayrest's catacombs and the crypts beneath Camlorn, hide pieces of the shattered Staff of Chaos, but also undead risen by necromantic energies unleashed by the imposter Emperor's agents. In Elsewhere, the desert and jungle lands of the Khajiit, you encounter cults worshipping Daedric princes, especially Mephala and Sheogorath, whose influence warps the minds of local tribes. The twin moons, Maser and Secunda, hang low, believed by Khajiit to influence fate. But here they seem to pulse with a dark omen. You explore ancient ruins, such as Rimmon, and the forgotten tombs beneath the sands, fighting warped beasts and corrupted mages. The Khajiit caravans are distrustful, and rumors of assassins spreading Tharn's reach circulate. Valenwood, home of the Bosmer, feels the forest itself turning against its people. The legendary Green Pact is strained as unnatural forces corrupt the trees. You face aggressive wildlife twisted by Daedric magic and ancient guardian spirits called the Wild Hunt, bound to Jagger Tharn's will. Places like Eldenroot, the Bosmer capital, are shadowed by political intrigue, as some Bosmer factions secretly support the impostor to preserve their autonomy, while others join your cause. You descend into hallowed groves and ancient temples built by forgotten ancestors, where traps and enchantments test your skills. Skyrim is a harsh and unforgiving land of icy mountains and tundra, where the dead refuse rest. Draugr warriors rise from their barrows, animated by Tharn's dark enchantments and Daedric powers. You battle dragon priests like Hevnarak, Morokei, and Croesus, whose lingering magic guards the staff pieces and blocks your path. Ancient Nord crypts, such as Bleak Falls Barrow and Labyrinthian, are crawling with undead and frost trolls. Political strife among Jarls and the looming threat of civil war distract Skyrim's people, making them vulnerable to Tharn's manipulation. You encounter rebel groups and exiled mages, some willing to aid you, others bent on their own agendas. Cyrodiil, the imperial province at the heart of the empire, is fractured and overrun. The imperial city itself stands as a shadow of its former glory. Thieves' guilds and Dark Brotherhood assassins operate openly, fueled by Tharn's promises. You navigate the sewers and catacombs under the city, facing Daedric cultists and mercenaries loyal to Tarn. The Imperial Palace and the White Gold Tower are locked in magical siege, as the real Emperor, Uriel Septim VII, is trapped in the Void, inaccessible except through the staff's power. Hammerfell's deserts and canyons hold many secrets. The Red Guards are famed warriors, but torn by internal disputes and threats from Tharn's forces. You face pirates along the Abyssan Sea, and hostile mercenaries guarding the staff fragments hidden in ancient Aelid ruins like the sunken cathedral. You also meet the elusive Ansei warriors and confront challenges in the Alik'r Desert. Somerset Isles, homeland of the Altmer, is cloaked in secrecy. Tharn's agents have infiltrated noble houses, corrupting the High Elves' strict society. You explore arcane towers and underwater ruins, confronting powerful sorcerers and Daedric entities. The summoning circles and enchantment labs are traps where the staff's pieces are hidden. The High Mage Councils are fractured, some members supporting the real Emperor in secret, others deceived or bribed. Black Marsh, the swampy homeland of the Argonians, is deadly and mysterious. The histories whisper warnings as you traverse treacherous swamps and ruins. You face Tharn's assassins and monsters mutated by dark magic. Argonian tribes are divided, some hostile, some helpful. You explore forgotten temples dedicated to the old gods and seek staff fragments hidden deep underground. Each province offers unique dangers and challenges, with hostile creatures, corrupt officials, and powerful sorcerers guarding the staff shards. Along the way, you meet allies from varied factions: mages, thieves, warriors, and rebels. Many want the Empire restored, some want chaos, and others merely survival. The staff pieces are scattered carefully. Ancient ruins, dungeons, crypts, towers, and strongholds that reflect the history and magic of each province. You fight enemies like bandits empowered by Tharn's magic, necromancers raising undead armies, and Daedra summoned to halt your progress. The presence of Daedric princes is felt everywhere, particularly Mehrunes Dagon and Molag Bal, whose agents seek to prevent the restoration of the true Emperor. The Staff of Chaos itself, once whole, was the key to traveling between the mortal world and the void, where Uriel Septim VII is held captive. Now shattered, its pieces must be reunited to pierce the veil and free the Emperor. Time in Tamriel feels fractured as you proceed. The fabric of reality is thinning due to Tharn's sorcery. You experience distortions, such as shifting landscapes and impossible architecture in dungeons. The Eight Divines' power is diminished, their blessings failing to protect the world. The culmination of your journey hinges on uniting the staff and confronting Jagr Tharn in his magical prison, a realm outside time and space. The stakes are the fate of the Empire itself. Every province shows signs of decay and corruption, but also hope from those who resist. This is the story of survival, resistance, and uncovering a conspiracy that threatens to destroy the order of the world. This journey through Tamriel is vast and full of secrets, each step revealing more about the dark shadow cast by Jagar Tharn and the desperate fight to restore the rightful emperor and save the empire from unraveling forever. The Staff of Chaos pulses with power in your hands, its shattered pieces finally united after a long journey across Tamriel's provinces. The air feels heavier, charged with magic and danger. Jagar Tharn knows the threat you pose now. The roads leading to the Imperial City are overrun with monsters, twisted by Daedric influence and dark sorcery. The skies above Cyrodiil are dark and stormy, clouds roiling with unnatural energy, signaling the final confrontation. You press forward, moving through the ruined countryside, and crumbling ruins as signs of Tharn's corruption become more intense. Reaching the city gates, you find them barred by spectral guardians and shadowed mercenaries loyal to the false emperor. Entering the Imperial City itself is like stepping into a dream turned nightmare. The palace is no longer a place of order and light, but a shifting maze of illusions and traps. Walls ripple and shift, halls twist and fold back on themselves, making every step uncertain. Daedric guards manifest from shadows, their forms changing as you engage them, relentless and inhuman. The deeper you go, the more reality seems to bend. Time fractures, moments stretch and snap, and you face enemies that test not just your strength, but your mind. The Staff of Chaos hums, a beacon slicing through the veil that separates the mortal world from the void where the real emperor, Uriel Septim VII, has been trapped. As you approach the throne room, the air thickens with magic, and the true test begins. Jagar Tharn appears, not just as a man, but as a twisting shadow of power and deception. His form shifts constantly, illusions overlapping reality, memories contorting. The battle is unlike any you faced. More than spells and swordplay, it is a war of wills. Tharn tries to break your mind, to drown you in lies, to erase your identity. You fight back with truth, memories of your journey, the faces of those who helped you, the hope of a free empire. The staff glows, channeling the strength of the true emperor's spirit and the power of the 8 divines, though their presence feels distant and weakened. Every strike, every spell pushes back Tharn's illusions, unraveling the prison he has built around himself and the empire. When the final blow lands, Tharn's form shatters, fading into nothingness. The veil parts, and Uriel Septim, the 7th, steps through, frail but alive. The emperor's gaze is distant, his memories fragmented by his time in the void. He recognizes your face, but only faintly. His thanks are quiet, almost reluctant, but genuine. He rewards you with treasures and titles, but there is no grand ceremony. No crowds cheer your name. The empire breathes again, but you remain a shadow in its history, a nameless hero who restored order from chaos. Walking away from the palace, you blend into the streets of the Imperial City, free, unclaimed, and forgotten. The Staff of Chaos, once whole and powerful, is now silent in your grasp, its purpose fulfilled. The world begins to heal, but the scars of Tharn's reign linger, whispered in dark corners and the minds of those who survived. Your story ends where it began, alone, unknown, but victorious.